Hey everyone, and it's time for another campaign scenario setup for the whole campaign. So for campaign number 4, it's going to be with the character Damiel. So building on the previous campaigns, I really liked the Drelm campaign because due to having all the curses in the Blessings deck, and that will be returning for this campaign. So in the basic levels 1 through 6, there will be a Curse of Poisoning in the deck. Level 1 will have Curse of the Vulnerability. Level 2, Curse of Daybane. Level 3, Curse of the Ravenous. Level 4, Curse of Withering. Level 5, Curse of Fevered Dreams. And in level 6, there will be a Curse of the Sphinx in the Blessings deck. That really adds a new layer, kind of a threat layer, level of challenge to the whole campaign, which I really appreciated in the Drum campaign. So we are continuing that. Also, if you look at the previous Drum campaign, I really liked how there was the location setup. So for this campaign, I picked a selection of 6 locations that I thought would be very challenging to get through. This Pleasure Barge, when you fail to acquire an ally, you are dealt 1d4 poison damage. I think that's going to be really cool to be revisiting this location every level. Also, so starting off with the Pleasure Barge, then Damiel will be going to the Mumia Lab, where at this location, at the start of your turn, succeed at a Constitution 4 check or suffer the Scourge Curse of Withering. Potential to be pretty lethal there. Then we're off to the familiar Glass Pavilion, a great location because you have to examine cards at the start of your turn. Scorched Obelisk is back, doing the same thing. When you defeat a Bane by 4 or more, you are dealt 1d4 electricity damage. Then we have the Crypt. Awesome, great card for a location, buffing up undead and cold traits. And then, of course, the Sky Pharaoh's Throne. So what's really cool about assembling this collection of locations is that making sure that the boons are balanced, the weapon, spell, armor, item, ally, blessing. The countdown was kind of the way it all worked out was it's all fairly average for each of the locations. So that is a fun thing to take into effect, making sure that, for example, all 6 locations don't all just have blessings and allies for rewards, because we want to make sure that the boons are balanced. So that was really cool. I think playing with Damiel, what I'm going to do is probably with him. I think he's going to be fairly straightforward to play, just focus on cards that have the Alchemist trait. But it'd be interesting to see what other kind of boons he acquires, if he tends to be more of like a cleric or a fighter, or if he's just going to pretty much continue to be an alchemist or just a straight up alchemist. One thing you may notice from the Drum campaign, and one thing that I noticed, was this whole when closing effects. I think for this entire campaign, doing something new, we are going to completely disregard when closing and when permanently closed effects. What's going to happen is that when Damiel, or anyone in the future campaigns, I would imagine, encounters a henchman or a villain, as soon as the henchman or villain is defeated, the location will automatically close. So I thought that was kind of some awkwardness with the Drelm. He wasn't able to close some locations. So from now on, henchmen are going to essentially have like the text, like let's take like this guy for an example. It says here, if defeated, you may immediately attempt to close the location this henchman came from. Well, henchmen are going to be like villains in the sense that they automatically close locations. Now they will still have the henchman keyword when it comes to like effects. So basically the only change in texts or a text for a henchman will be when it has this, if defeated, you may immediately attempt to close the location this henchman came from. Instead, they're going to be treated like villains. If you defeat the villain and he's cornered, and of course there's only one location per scenario, the villain is cornered. So once you defeat the villain or the henchman, the location will be closed. So something new this campaign, we're getting rid of the when closing and when permanently closed effects of locations. We're just going to say that as soon as the villain or henchman for that scenario is defeated, the location is closed. Alright, well that's pretty much the update for the character Damiel. I'm really looking forward to starting this campaign. Once again, well, I went through the specific order of locations, but you'll find that out as well during the campaign. So kind of building on the previous campaign, pretty excited to see where this campaign is going to be going. And I will have the first scenario for the campaign up shortly. Basically all I need to do is figure out which location, or which, since we have like a few new locations this campaign, which like the pleasure barge, basically all we have to do is figure out which henchman villains are in which location, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be just keeping the same reward per scenario hierarchy or tree or branch or whatever you call that. Same rewards per like the last campaign. Alright, well I will have the first adventure up shortly. Probably more like, not shortly, but more like in a day or two. But that's where I'm thinking about the new campaign for Damiel. This will be the 4th campaign of the channel. I really like how the campaigns are just building on each other, becoming a little more challenging with each attempt. And we'll see how this attempt goes for Damiel. Alright, thanks for watching.